quick win. I'm always looking for that small thing to tweak rather than redesign entire system or entire process, because I've had things where it's like just so simple. That's part of the process in the system. Let's have you self-monitor and report out on certain intervals. Man, that changed life around. And let's make sure that we have another interval where somebody's coming out to give you feedback on stuff. So let's just tighten up these feedback loops a lot. So I'm always looking for that kind of quick thing. But whatever it is, once we do the assessment, we bring the people in and we involve them in developing the system. Like, you know, like you have to have, as you know, you have your stakeholders involved, because if they author it, they own it. And to your point, like they got to write it out. There's got to be step-by-step procedures. So I can look at the same thing and you can look at the same thing. We all know what it should look like, you know, and we can use it to train and we can use it to coach against, and we can use it as a task analysis, the self-monitoring, you know, like check, I'm doing all this stuff. So, but I find that this is the bulk of the work is here, you know, because then once that's developed, if we've done well with involving them, we find out the values and we've involved them in goal setting, they want to be part of it, then they're going to want to get the training and then they're going to want to get the coaching in it. But if we do it to them, they say, you need to do this because you're already behind the 8 ball, because like, what's in it for me? How's it going to make my life better? How's it going to help me to produce valued outcomes? You know what I mean?
That's a big one for, again, especially small business, but it's really the same just in life. For someone to embrace it, you need to frame it the benefit to them, because oftentimes, at least in small business, when you introduce process, the team thinks, oh, is this because you want to offshore my job or outsource? Should I be concerned about my job here? Or is this so that the business owner can go on a 7-week holiday over Christmas time and I keep working? Like, that's not going to motivate the team member. So you need to think about, how does it benefit the individual? And this means that when you take a holiday, we can have another team member step in who can continue to do your role. So when you come back, you can hit the ground running and you're not spending the next 6 weeks catching up for the 3 days that you had off because you got behind on everything. Or another way to frame it, because it'll depend on the team member, you can say, to move up in our organization, the way that you do that is you systemize what you're doing, you delegate down to more junior team members, you know, less skilled team members, and you pass some of that responsibility off to them. And that doesn't make you less valuable. That makes you more valuable in our organization, because now you can work on higher value tasks. So for the team member that might want to move up in your organization, you let them know, well, this is a pathway to do that. So it does very much have to do with getting the team member to understand how they benefit from this initiative. And that's why I love your idea of quick wins, because then they see the result and then they go, oh yeah, I get this now. Yeah, let's do more of this.
It's so important, man. Even if it's not directly aligned with the main result you're trying to produce, let's help people get in touch with results that are important for them, because that adds value. Yeah. It gives trust in the leader, the person, whoever is doing it. Now, now as far as you know, like, what have you found? Something like, all right, here when I go, like I mentioned, like feedback loops, right? I find that feedback loops are notoriously delayed for helping people improve their performance. I also found that in my world, training, it was what we call an antecedent strategy. Training is intended to get behavior moving in the right direction. Training, goal setting, developing systems, right? All these are intended to get behavior moving in the right direction. But if you don't get behavior in touch with reinforcement, it goes away. So nobody plans for that as part of the process. Everybody sends people to training. They develop great plans and goals and send resources. And then in 3 months, you come back and nothing's changed, because there's not a system in place to ensure the generalization of learned skills into the natural environment, which I'll call coaching. Training's about skill acquisition. Coaching is about supporting that generalization. Have you found that that's an issue in the places that you've been?
For sure. In fact, the most important system that we talk about, all of the other systems, at least in SYSTEMology, when we get started, I say, well, just capture what you're currently doing. Who on the team is currently doing it to a good standard? Let's capture that and let's make the baseline and get everybody up to that level before we optimize.
Right.
But the only system that I suggest is worth designing from the ground up is actually your onboarding system. Because when new team members come on board, all of the resistance to any change only happens with existing team members who's used to doing things a certain way. I've always done it this way. Why do I have to change? And that's what where the resistance comes from. But new team members, if they're inducted correctly,